came through Dallas at 11 o'clock at night in a rainstorm. I couldn't believe how much traffic there was at 11 o'clock at night. Does that town ever sleep? I was so excited about coming on this hunt that we actually left Tulsa late in the afternoon so that we could get into camp early, 2 days early. But 3 hours later, after we'd gone through Dallas, we're out in the middle of nowhere, hill country, Texas, and we run out of road. I take back everything I said about how great Texas roads are. You know, I wasn't sure where we were going or even how we were going to get there, but up in the night, at the end of the path, at the end of the road, at the end, as far as we could go, we came upon a house that fit the directions, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, I said, this is it. We pulled in and we crashed right there. I'll go hunting. Drink it like a pepper. Big drink.
Sleep good?
Boy, it looks like it does. I was just hoping we were in the right place, because there was nobody there. And nobody showed up. So about noon, I said, that's it, let's go into town. We were staying just outside the town of Lano. Beautiful little scenic city there in central Texas. But it didn't take long to see it, or it didn't take long for me to see all I needed to see. Let's go back to camp. So about 4 o'clock, Robert Inks showed up. He said, you ready to go bow hunting? I said, no. I'm ready to go to the rocks. We took off on a little drive. I looked up and I said, there they are. Stop the truck. There's why I'm here.
Well, Roger finally came down. He actually showed up 2 days early. And I didn't want to have him on the rocks with myself. It's a very difficult and tough rock to climb. So waiting on the rest of my team to show up on 2 days later, we went ahead and bow hunted at some of our blinds. And of course, it always happens when we always have a guest come down, the deer never show up. That was, you know, he was frustrated and I was frustrated, and it's just part of hunting. That's why they call it hunting.
You know, Robert kept talking about his team. The team hadn't showed up. The team's coming. The team. I thought he was talking about the Texas Longhorns team, all right? I said, look, they got a ball game Saturday, they ain't coming. I want to go to the rocks. That's why I'm here. It was 17 years ago this week, I was in this country on a different ranch hunting hybrid ibex on the rocks. It was a great hunt, great experience. I'd been looking for and waiting for years to find the right place to come back to and do it again.
It was real apparent that he wanted to do this type of hunt. He did it years and years ago. So when he came down here, he knew kind of what to expect, what he did 15, 20 years ago on another ranch. But the terrain here was obviously a lot different, much more rocky, much more rugged, and he's a lot much older. So.
Point being,
Are you ready for it?
If you carry me. Yeah, I'm ready. Should be fun.
Think your dad's ready?
No.
what's that?
Oh, nothing.
Am I ready? Huh, 10-pound frog fat, you bet. You bet I'm ready. This was the third day of my hunt, and I was chomping at the bit to get going. This was why I had come. And I knew it was going to be one of the toughest challenges of the year for me. Now, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but I was just a few months from being in the hospital, a full-blown GBS Guillain-Barré patient, totally paralyzed, couldn't walk, couldn't talk, and the Lord had touched my body. And he had done what I asked him to do. I said, Lord, if you'll just get me to the place where I can continue my journey in life, I'll be careful to give you all the praise and all the glory. And let me tell you, this was a great day for me, being up there on those rocks, and I knew it was going to be a great challenge and thrill, and I was ready, I think.
One of the biggest things we wanted to do this week was get up on those rocks and hunt. And it's just different from anything that anybody else ever does, because you're not hunting in a tripod over a food plot or at a water hole or at a feeder. You're going to be climbing up on these rock outcroppings and really going on a spot and stalk type hunt. And it's different because it's just something that doesn't ever happen, in normal hunting atmospheres. You don't have that type of terrain to be able to do that. And so our goal was to get the Spanish goat hybrid ibex and go after them with a spot and stalk type method on these rocks. And it's up and down, and it's difficult terrain to be able to hunt. You got to be able to spot them, and then once you spot them, it's a climb and going down ravines and through crevices and trying to get to them in order to be able to pull off a shot.
It took us several hours to work our way through the cracks and crevices and climb and get up towards the top. We got up there, and I'll be dogged, Barry spotted the goats, the ibex, back down towards the bottom. Holy cow. And there were several shooters in the group, too. Although, man, as slow as I'm getting around, the action's going to happen from up here to down there. At just a couple hundred yards, I'll do my dancing from right here. What happened? It's pretty good stuff right here. You've heard me say it before, but welcome to my office. I tell you, the goats went everywhere when the bullet went off, all right? But we were already up there, so we decided that we were going to stay and let little Raglan do some hunting, try to get him one. I mean, we'll retrieve my animal later. It's not like he's going someplace. It was a good decision. Fourth one from the right, behind that white goat. See?
Yeah.
Just wait. buddy. Woo! Rolled him, man, rolled him.
Great shot, bud.
Good shot.
Great shot.
Nice shot, buddy. Nice.
Roger contacted me a couple weeks ago, wanted to know if I'd want to come down hill country of Texas and try to go after some deer, and I was pretty excited about it. I've known Roger for a couple years now. He's been shooting our V-Force arrows, and when he called me, I was really excited. I got a plane ticket, came down, and when I got here, I heard they had Audads, and Audad was something I've always wanted to hunt. I mean, I've killed some good whitetail, but to go after an Audad, that was my... Roger and Josh went out and got a goat a couple days ago, and I said, Roger, you care if I go after one of these Audads? And he's like, you're crazy.
No, wait, I didn't say he was crazy. All right, I did say it, and he was. Of course, I wasn't taking into account who was doing the shooting. Bart is a world-class bow hunter, world-class bow shot. And he's built, no offense, Bart, he's built like an Ohio State linebacker. Big, tough guy, and in great shape. Well, when it was all said and done, we just had run out of time. There was no question in my mind that Bart, had he had just a couple of more days, he would have got one down. But we were all going to have to leave the next morning. And there he was, a good one, at 300 yards. And just not any way to close the distance. It's now or never. So you're going to see something that you may never see again. Bart took my 270 short mag, that tar hunt. He's never shot an animal in his entire life with a rifle, pure bow hunter. He took that 270 short mag, and the rest is history.
Beautiful animal.
Well, enjoyed having you and Roger out here, and it was a great experience.
Had a great time. We've had a great time.
I'd like to thank Mr. Robert Inks, his dad Roy, and the entire team for helping this old beat-up Oklahoma Sooner fan have just an outstanding hunting experience. Absolutely, this is the best group of folks I've had the privilege of being around in a long, long time. It was the highlight of my year.